What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? Happy Mother's Day weekend. Happy Friday. Um, what's up? This is KC from In the Basement with Next Step in K. Of course, I am one half of this dope duo. I am K, the Clippers fan and Jets fan. Unfortunately, I'm feeling a little bit sad today because of the Clippers being eliminated last week. But that's okay. Hopefully, we can get it together. But yeah, I just want to say happy Mother's Day weekend. Just in case I'd be remiss, not to wish happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, the mothers, the aunts, the cousins, sisters, caretakers, teachers, mentors, anyone who had any type of like maternal influence on us. Because without you, there would be no us. Also happy Mother's Day to to grandparents, great grandparents, and also if you're even luckier, you have a great great grandparent. So yeah, just want to just a quick recap of the NBA playoffs in the second round. Didn't get a chance to do the first, but shout out to Larry. We got a chance to get back together. The boy is back. We got a chance to chop it up on Sunday on the In the Basement podcast, and he's back. And like I tell you before, it felt really good for him to be back. I was glad for him to be back. He looked really good and spry out there, going over his facts because he lived, eats, dreams, sleeps basketball. So I'm just glad to have him back. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Black Psychologist Podcast, SB Talk Sports, Best of Seven Podcast. Also, Get Your Bars Up Media. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the Eagles fans, Knicks fans, Clippers fans, Jets fans. Shout out to everybody. Happy Friday, and let's get right into it. So. Let me get these headphones straightened out here. Let's see here what we got. All right, so we're good now. Okay, that's a little bit better. So yeah, hopefully everybody's having a great Friday. And unfortunately, let's go over a little bit of news here. A little bit of sad news too, but we'll get into that a little bit later, real quick. The Timberwolves are up 2-0 in the series. And my question to you guys, is this the end for Denver? Is this going to be like an actual full blown sweep, or is this going to be a gentleman's sweep? So I haven't given up on Denver as of yet. I'm not a Denver fan by any means. I mean, I used to like Denver back in their heyday, but I was never a fan of them. However, I don't think Denver is going to go away in the night quietly. If they are going to lose, they're going to pass. They're definitely not going to give up the mantle without a fight. Minnesota is definitely that team giving them problems. Also in the Western Conference, Dallas is also evening up the series 1-1 in a statement win in OKC last night. Shout out to PJ Washington, Luca, and Kyrie. PJ Washington was definitely standing on business yesterday. Luca did okay too. But I would say Kyrie actually did the best, even though his stats weren't exactly eye popping like that. As a matter of fact, let me go over his stats real fast. In game two, Kyrie Irving had a pedestrian 9 points, 3 rebounds. Let me see. I think he had like 4 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. I don't know if this is right. I think he had 11. I think he had 11 assists, if I remember correctly. 11 assists and a couple steals. This was in game two, but he also had 2 blocks and 2 steals as well. Like, he was also standing on business either, but he was actually getting people in the right spot. So I believe that's 11 assists. I think that was a typo. That was my fault. Um, Also, the New York Nova Knicks, the Nova Knicks now, that's what everybody's calling them. The Knicks also are going up 2-0, going to Indiana to actually play tonight, as a matter of fact. So if you're not doing anything tonight, if you're not out, if you're not like buying gifts and roses, for mom or for whoever special in your life, definitely get a chance to sit down, watch the Knicks games. Definitely going to be a great game. I believe they play like at 8:30, I believe. I think that's like the only game tonight. Um, Cleveland is also keeping things interesting as well. They actually as awful. They as awful. Excuse me. They are also blah, 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 blah. They have also tied up the series 1-1. They're keeping things really really interesting. Donovan Mitchell, of course, is efficient as ever. He's always out that talk for some reason. The top elite, shooting guards in the league. For some reason, I don't know why. Like they don't really mention him in these discussions. Um, Also, with coaching news, Frank Vogel's out for the Suns. That was quick. I'm sure Frank Vogel probably brought up his oldest championship in the bubble. They were just like, "Yeah, that was the bubble. What have you done for me lately?" Mike Budenhauser is in for the Suns, so I'm not sure how that's going to go with that. But I'm sure um, he's a great selector of talent. So I'm sure a change is good for the Phoenix Suns. He definitely has that championship pedigree, so I'm sure he's going to also do okay over there. Pacers coach Rich Carlisle was fined $35,000 for criticizing the refs in that New York game. He had some really choice words to say to the refs. I mean, running on the court. Luckily, he didn't get thrown out the game, but I'm sure they just want to let him know, hey, listen, we're not going to throw you out the game. We're definitely going to. There's definitely going to come something out of your game check, your playoff check. You might as well hand that playoff check over to us. Send it to New York, in the NBA offices, either New York, or the East Rutherford office. Either or, still going to the same place. Um, Also, Bucks veteran Patrick Beverly was suspended by the NBA, probably for the next upcoming season for throwing the ball at fans. Listen, Patrick, Mr. 94 feet. Um, like his conduct's been kind of off lately in regards to how he's dealing with the media, how he's just dealing with people, how he's dealing with fans. Now, first and foremost, the NBA doesn't play that mess when it comes to assaulting fans, and this is what this one fan could probably end up doing. Now, listen, had it been me, my brother and I, we actually had a discussion about that. Shout out to the Baby Bro Black Psychologist podcast. Shout out to Kim's Closet. Um, we had to talk about that on our way going to the Lupus Walk, which was a great walk, by the way, that we did in East Rutherford at MetLife Stadium last week. I was actually around my fellow Jets players, my fellow Jets fans. We had a great time. Also, we raised a lot of money for lupus research, and we'll get into a little bit of that later. But shout out on the way up there. We were talking about that. We were actually talking about, what would you've done if Patrick Beverly hit you with the ball? Because it was like two times he did it. And basically what happened was, I don't know, I'm hearing so many different conflicting stories. I'm hearing there were some racial slurs being thrown at him. I heard there was some 1, 2, 3 Cancun chants that were being thrown at him. But you got to be a little bit better than that, Pat. I mean, you're getting paid the big bucks, you're getting the extensions, you're getting this money, to be a basketball player. You're not being paid to be a critic. When you're podcasting, you can kind of do that stuff like on your own time. Also, I would have fell out. I'd have been like, I'm concussed. I don't feel good. I got PTSD. I can't go to basketball games anymore. I used to love basketball. Now I don't anymore because of this man, this monster. He did this to me. Every time I see a basketball, I just pass out, or I just, I start having panic attacks, because the first time he threw it to him, it was like a little feathery lob, from the fan. And next thing you know, Patrick Beverly beams it at him. Boom. I mean, it was a straight one of those no look Sebastian Telfair type no look beams, like in the air, like I'm not looking at you, but I see it on my periphery. I'm just going to just beam it at you so it can get through traffic. Yeah. And the crazy part, the ironic, messed up part is it hurt the wrong person. So first of all, you were wrong in your deed, and then you hit the wrong target. So guess what? You'll be hearing from the NBA office. You'll probably be hearing from that fan. Patrick Beverly, I mean, basically, thanks to Patrick Beverly, this fan probably has lifetime tickets to get into Conseco Arena or wherever, Conseco Fieldhouse, wherever they play at in Indiana. Um, so, yeah. As a matter of fact, that fan is probably going to be there today, probably right in the front because you got him those tickets. Thank you, Patrick Beverly. But like I said, Patrick Beverly, you got to kind of like hold it together a little bit. Then also, the way he was talking to the media, asked the young lady, do you listen to my podcast? She was like, no, I didn't even know you had a podcast. I don't think she was trying to be like insulting or anything like that, but I guess Patrick Beverly just took offense to it, and he's like, listen, I can't talk to you then. Don't talk to me because you didn't subscribe to my podcast. Don't talk to me. Okay, Pat. Okay, all right. I mean, this is like, the behavior is going. It's just getting more and more obnoxious. First you're pushing players. First it was you're running into Russell Westbrook's knees. You're trying to take his knees out. Then you push Chris Paul from the back. After Phoenix eliminated the Clippers in that deciding game, Game 6, you shove Chris Paul in the back. Chris Paul didn't do anything. Maybe he did say something, maybe he didn't say anything, but still you have to have that restraint, because you are in the national spotlight. You're on a platform where people can see you all the time. You're going to get this abuse. You're going to get this 1, 2, 3 Cancun. You're going to get booed. You're going to get jeered. You're going to get pointed at. you're going to get criticized. I mean, that just comes along with the territory. So hopefully, hopefully the office, the NBA office can see that. Hopefully they can hear both sides. Hopefully they'll be treated fairly. And Patrick Beverly, he's definitely going to see some suspensions, and he's definitely going to see a lighter wallet coming through. Maybe he could probably just do some NBA community service or something like that, kind of like to lighten the load. But who knows what's going to happen. Also, some further news. It's been out that former NBA player Glenn Big Baby Davis. Of course, we know who Glenn Big Baby Davis is with his funny stories, anecdotes. Definitely a good basketball player when he played. Played for the Clippers. He played for the Celtics. He was also a great high school player too. Coming out of Louisiana, played for LSU. He was a McDonald's All American. Unfortunately, I have to announce there's some bad news a little bit. Unfortunately, he's been sentenced to 40 months in prison for involvement in the healthcare fraud scheme. Excuse me. Dave was basically it goes like this: Dave was convicted of healthcare fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to make false statements, and conspiracy allegedly to commit healthcare and wire fraud. Basically, if he went to a jury, they would probably he got found guilty. They probably would have sentenced up to about 20 years in prison. Hopefully, he made a deal, so he's only going to get 40 months in prison for that involvement in that fraud scheme. There's other more players out there too as well. Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of bad. It throws a black on the NBA, but also to play devil's advocate. Maybe the reason why they did this because they're not like really aching for the money. They still get their contract, they still get their pensions. You still get your endorsements and everything in your last couple of years of your contract. Maybe this is something in regard that the NBA has to do something about the healthcare system. Maybe they're not being treated fairly. Maybe they're not getting the right benefits that say we would get. Like as a regular working 9 to 5 guy, we get a certain benefits that are covered. Maybe an NBA, maybe something has to be done that they have to cover all expenses. Because NBA players, their body is their instrument. So therefore, maybe they where maybe they're not getting the proper care. Maybe the mental health care, maybe it's the physical care in regards to um, different types of rehabilitation, different types of operations are not covered. You have to come out the pocket because guess what? Just because you're a millionaire, when that thing is not covered under your current health plan, you're coming out the pocket for that. Like whatever operation, yeah, you can pay it towards your deductible, but if you have a high deductible, then what? Like you're paying all that out of your pocket. Then it'll get covered after you hit your deductible. So maybe that might be a problem too. So maybe the NBA has to take a look inside themselves and see what's going on with their type of, healthcare system. Maybe get down with a better carrier per se. I mean, this is all, this is all just, in my opinion only. This is not like the opinion shared by the entire In the Basement podcast. So I just want to make that disclaimer and everything like that because Larry could have other ideas. Our listeners, our subscribers could have other ideas and opinions as well. So definitely come through, voice your opinion, let me know how you feel about that. But luckily, instead of getting to 20 years, he's getting 40 months, which is about 3.5 years, which is not bad. I mean, it's not good because you'll be away from your family and stuff like that. But hopefully, you know, things can happen. Good behavior. You can probably get out a little bit early. So definitely, definitely thinking about you, Glenn Big Baby Davis. Hold your head. Yeah, and then other than that, also I want to announce that a friend of a friend of a friend, basically, that we know. Shout out to my man Scoopy Robinson of the Scoopy Radio podcast. He's actually one of my first guys that I actually interviewed when I was interning at Eastern University. I got a chance to interview Corey Homicide Williams. If you know who Corey Homicide Williams, he's a Rucker legend. He's actually played overseas a lot. He's played for I would say about 16 years overseas. Played against like the top players in the NBA, giving him fits. That's what earned him the name Homicide because whoever he went up against, he killed them. Straight murder out there, you know. And unfortunately, rest in peace to Corey Homicide Williams. He actually passed away from colon cancer today. Harlem stand up. But yeah, when I was doing my intern with Scoopy Radio, he was actually one of my first. I would say I think he was actually one of my first first couple of interviews that I covered with him. When they were talking about like the scene of New York basketball, he actually was overseas. He was actually also a commentator during Lonzo Ball, no, excuse me, Lamelo Ball's um, career overseas before he came over to the Hornets, and he gave like really good play by play. He gave like good predictions of what he's going to do, breakdowns of LaMelo Ball's game, things of that sort. And he's actually just lived a life over there overseas, and he's came back over. He retired. But just a quick rundown of the great Harlem Rucker legend. He went to Rice High School as a student, and then he went to MCC Penn Valley Community College. He's a 1996 National Junior College Athletics Association Division II champ. After that, he went to Alabama State University from 1997 to 99. Then after that, he played professionally overseas from 1999 to 2016. He played for teams. I'm not going to name all the teams, but he played for such notable teams as the Dakota Wizards, Club San Carlos, the Brooklyn Kings, Minus Storm, Oway Stockholm, Yana Hunch, New Jersey Flyers, the Melbourne Tigers, the Sioux Falls Skyforce. I actually have a sweatshirt from them. The Hoops Club. And on top of that, he was also the 2006 CBA assist leader, CBA All Defensive Team, All CBA second team, the three-time All NBL second team, All NBL first team, NBL MVP, and also All NBA second team and All Defensive Team as well. For letting me get a chance to like transcribe and also edit and listen to your interviews. You definitely had a lot of information, a lot of insight on on the hoop scene back then. I remember giving that interview. I'm gonna say back in maybe 2020. I'm gonna say like right before COVID. And I had quite a few interviews. I remember the interviews that I got a chance to get on with Scoop, myself, was it Kenny Smith, um, Meta World Peace, formerly known as Ron Artest. That was a great debate in regards to who's the best, who's backing down. It was just straight street ball, straight Rutgers street ball. I mean, the gloves came off, and he was holding court, and definitely a great guy. Definitely sending my condolences to the Williams family and everything, and yeah, definitely lost a national treasure in hoops, in street ball hoops as well. So, all right, with all that said, we're going to take a more positive turn, more happier turn, and say, let's get down to these NBA playoffs. Great games have been happening over the past weekend and up to this point during the week. The first game we're going to start in the Western Conference. The first game, which happened on Saturday, May the 4th. That was the day of the Lupus Walk. Shout out to all my Lupus Walkers out there at the Meadowlands. We did a great job out there. It was actually the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Now, a lot of people thought the Denver Nuggets were just going to come in there and just skate through. But actually, Minnesota, the Timberwolves actually came out with a 106-99 victory. Ant-Man had 43 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Karl Anthony Towns had 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Naj Reid had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Rudy Gobert actually didn't play because he had to go see the birth of his first child. Excuse me, the birth of his first child. Congratulations to Rudy Gobert. Brady Gibson to the Gobert family. A lot of people had mixed reviews on this. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, Rudy Gobert, he should not be there because it's a playoff game. It's super important. Who knows how long, the next time that the Timberwolves are going to get this far in the playoffs." But my thing is this: I'm not a father, but I know a lot of guys who are fathers. I know a lot of guys who actually would have missed that game just to see the birth of their first child. Because you only get to see one birth, unless you having twins, and even that you still get one birth. You only get born once. So yeah, I think that was a great move by Rudy Gobert. Shout out to the Timberwolves, for letting him go and not giving him any kickback or flack, about going to see his family, his wife at that time giving birth and stuff like that, because that's a process in itself. I mean, just being there, because the mothers, this day and age, with technology, even anything could go wrong. So thank you, Rudy Gobert. Thank you for stepping up and being there. Congratulations, welcome, little Gobert to as an addition of the family. Anyway, for Denver, Nikola Jokic had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 3 steals. Notable 7 turnovers. And we're getting to that in one quick second. Michael Porter Jr. also had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, a block, and 3 steals. Jamal Murray had 17 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists. Now, for that, I want to talk about that first game because usually, Minnesota stole one, and everybody's like, okay, they stole one. I don't know if they're going to get game two. But, I mean, Anthony Edwards, I mean, he was on some other, whatever he had for lunch that day. I really want some. Pause. But, I mean, just the way that Anthony Edwards was just attacking the rim. I mean, everybody's talking about, yeah, he's the next Jordan. I'm not saying he's the next Jordan, but the stuff that he was doing was Jordan-esque. Um, I'm talking about just attacking the rim. I'm talking about just looking at the matchups and just posterizing every and destroying every matchup that he had. Every time they made a switch on him, kind of reminiscent of '80s Jordan, when although like the Bulls lost in that playoff against the Celtics, he let them know that I'm here. There's about to be a new sheriff in town. Magic Bird, you might get ready to step aside because I'm coming through. And just the way that he was just eliminating the matchups. Um, Getting to the rim with not even reckless abandon, but just controlled fury. That's exactly what it was. That's OG 88, 89 Jordan, maybe 87 Jordan, when he was just going to the rim, just constant four race to the rim, strong, raw, powerful, you know, but controlled anger, controlled rage. Um, so the T Wolves actually get that first game. They're up 1-0. Then also that Tuesday, when the Western Conference Semifinals game one, the Dallas Mavericks, the Oklahoma City Thunder hosted the Dallas Mavericks. OKC gets the win with, let's see, Shai Gilgeous had 29, 9 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. Chet Holmgren had 19 points in his first semifinal debut. 19 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Jalen Williams had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 block. And Luca had 19 points, pedestrian 19, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals. Kyrie Irving, 20 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. So basically, what they were doing here, OKC, they did. I think Dallas had problems matching up with SGA and Chet Holmgren because all of these guys are young. They can run the floor, just like Dallas. They can run the floor too, and that's I think what doomed the Clippers because anytime you have role players that are good in the role and they don't really need the ball to be effective, that's a problem. That's going to be a problem for any team because you can't really game plan for that because they don't need the ball. All you have to do is just rim run, tip it, tap the ball away, which gets like, oh, that's so annoying. Like I'm trying to get a rebound and somebody just tips it away from you. Like that sucks. Um, like I said, SGA pretty much kept them in their pocket, kind of even everything out with the big guards because even though Luka is every bit of like 6'7", SGA is like 6'4", 6'5", 6'5" on a good day. Um, and they were actually kind of hurrying Luca up a little bit. They were kind of like rushing him a little bit, rushing him to make decisions, making him do little step backs, making him play hero ball. And actually, it worked out in the favor of the Dallas Mavericks, just like in the Minnesota game. I've noticed that Nikola Jokic had 7 turnovers, but they were just hurry up turnovers. Like Jokic was trying to get the ball up the floor too fast, and also Minnesota has the size to actually deal with them now because you pretty much have, man, you pretty much have like once you put Rudy Gobert in the mix, like you have 3 different big men that can do 3 different things. One is all defensive, one is offensively inclined but can play defense and grab boards, and the other one's just coming off the bench with no game plan. So how are you going to stop that? And you're getting 3 different looks. So once you once Jokic sees Gobert, he's like, okay, I can, I have to play a little bit different. Then you throw in, Karl Anthony Towns on the switch, he can defend them. And also, Karl Anthony Towns can bring Jokic out and go around him or shoot over him. You can do pretty much the same thing that Jokic can do. Maybe he might not be able to pass as good as Jokic, but Karl Anthony Towns is still multifaceted. He's still a multifaceted big man who could do whatever. Shout out Kentucky. Shout out to New Jersey. Um, and shout out to Nas Reed too. Shout out to Jersey as well. Nas Reed doing the same thing. Nas Reed, high engine, going right at him, trying to dunk on him every time he sees him. Layups, 3 pointers, bringing them out, making them run around, stuff like that. That gets big men tired. So good job by the Minnesota Timberwolves for throwing a monkey wrench in the plan. Because a lot of people thought that the the Denver Nuggets are going to try to they're going to go like just walk through and do a repeat. I don't know, man. You guys are down 0-2. I haven't given up on it. I haven't given up on them, but I can see a gentleman's sweep coming. In game two in the Western Conference, Minnesota and Denver, they match up again. Anthony Edwards had a human like 27 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Karl Anthony Towns came through. 27 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 blocks. For Denver, Nikola Jokic had 16 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, and 1 block. Great stats, still kind of pedestrian because you want to see Jokic have more points, but he's still doing the damn thing out there. Aaron Gordon, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Jamal Murray had 8 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 outburst. Throwing heat packs on the floor. To be honest with you, Jamal Murray, that was kind of like a Bush League type move because what if somebody, maybe even your own teammate, what if Jokic stepped on that heat pack and he fell, got hurt, twisted his ankle, whatever the case may be, he's out for the rest of the series. Then what? Then what you going to do? So yeah, Jamal Murray, yeah, you earned that. You earned that $100,000 in it. But I mean, to his benefit, he avoided suspension for throwing objects, and he was not only was he throwing objects on the floor, I heard it was being thrown at the official. So if that would have connected, that would have injured the official. Oh, you're definitely going to hear from the office because the NBA doesn't tolerate that type of behavior. So, yep, you got to weigh pretty smooth, Jamal. You got to weigh easy because you only got fined $100,000. You can pretty much use that from your New Balance contract to pay that, or New Balance will pay it for you. Who knows? But he avoided suspension for throwing objects at an official during the game, and it's a playoff game at that. So that kind of is more it's more important for you to kind of like stay on the court because as Dr. Kyle says, the best ability is availability. So if you're not available to play in the next game, then what good are you? And then they're going to put it on you. So, yep. But once again, the Timberwolves also throwing mixes at Jokic, throwing mixed lineups at Jokic, making Jokic think and work, making him look around, maybe rush, maybe hold the ball up a little too much for them to get back on defense. Minnesota Timberwolves win game two. They're up 2-0, 106-80. Next game in the Western Conference semis, game two, Dallas Mavericks, Oklahoma City Thunder. This time, Dallas gets a statement win. I'm not saying it's a must win because they're not in that hole yet, like how my Clippers were, in game five. Dallas Mavericks gets the win, 119-110. Luca with 29 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, 3 steals. That's more like it. PJ Washington, standing on business. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. Shout out to North Carolina. Also, Kyrie Irving, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. I don't know if that's actually correct. Let me double check that. Let me double check those stats real fast. 'Cause I think I might have been typing too fast. Let me see here. Last night. Un momento, por favor. Thank you guys. Thank you for waiting. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Kyrie Irving, excuse me. Kyrie Irving had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 11 assists. 2 blocks, 2 steals. There you go. That's much better. Because I'm about to say I know he had more assists than that because I was actually watching that game, and like I said, even though the stats aren't exactly eye popping per se, um, he was definitely finding people, and once Kyrie gets in his bag and he starts throwing passes and he's finding people, oh, it's going to be a great night because now Kyrie's made a statement that says, "I don't even need to score. I'm him. I can do it wherever." Um, Shot Julius Alexander, 33 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Jalen Williams, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Chet Holmgren, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. They actually caught up with him. They got a little bit more physical with him. And they kind of limited his touches and his shots. So we're kind of pushing him around a little bit. If refs were actually letting him play because, letting them know that this is the playoffs, Rook, and yeah, yeah, this is the type of fouls you're going to be getting in the playoffs. Some fouls they are going to call, some fouls they're not going to call. The ticky tack fouls they're not going to call. They're going to let you play through that. Maybe you're going up, you're hitting your arm or pulling your arm down. Just got to power through that. Just don't start complaining to the refs. You don't have that type of superstar treatment yet. You're still a rookie. Fall back. Moving on. Moving on to the Eastern Conference, and let me tell you, the Eastern Conference semis. Whole lot of drama, especially now they rekindled the Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks playoff battles, and as growing up in the '70s, '80s, and '90s, those Pacer Knick battles, whether it's the Pacer Knicks, Knicks Bulls, Cavaliers Bulls, or Indy and Orlando. If you know about any of those series, those were like straight battles, straight wars. But definitely the Pacers and the Knicks, especially like in the mid '90s when when Mike left to go play basketball, it was just wide open for anybody to win the championship that year. Those 2 years, yeah. I swear Indy had a shot, but I mean India finally broke ground in 2000. Unfortunately, lost to a pumped up Kobe and Shaq in the year 2000. Um, Shout out to Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. Let me see. Game one, Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks. Pacers 117, New York Knicks 21. Miles Turner. I believe Miles Turner he led the, he had game high for the Pacers. He led the Pacers to scoring 23 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Pascal Siakam, a great addition, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Shout out to PA's own TJ McConnell. 18 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 3 steals. He was getting it in. But guess what? Team Villanova was all over the place, flying around the Nova Knicks. Um, Josh Hart, 24 points, hard hat, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 block, 3 steals, all over the place. Dante DiFincenzo, a.k.a. the Big Ragu, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. This looks like the Villanova. It looks like the Villanova Wildcats stat line when they're playing against like Manhattan or something like that. And I'd be remiss. Jalen Brunson, 43 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block. Only reason why I'm chuckling right now because if you ever get a chance, go to Side Talk NYC and watch the Knicks fans go crazy. Straight unhinged, Joe. Straight unhinged. Shout out to Team Nova over there, up there at the Garden. Yeah, yeah. The Pacers got what they're looking for. I mean, even though the Pacers are coming fresh off the upset of the Milwaukee Bucks and things like that, I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready for the Knicks, man. I think the Knicks. I don't think they're going to sweep them. I don't think they might gentlemen sweep them. Excuse me. They might gentlemen sweep them. The only way they're going to win like 2 games in this series is if Reggie Miller, Mark Jackson, Dale Davis, Anthony Davis, uh, Travis Best, all those guys. Unless they Austin Crozier, unless they suit up, like that's the only way they're probably going to end up winning. And even then, they might still have a problem. Maybe get around Artest. Maybe get around Ron. Maybe they can do something. Um, Definitely great game by Brunson. Shout out to New York Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks fans. Big Bong is yeah, very convincing win. Even though they only won by 4, but it's just the way that they won. I mean, just a lot of people are hating on the Knicks because they're like, well, they shouldn't have beat the Sixers, and I don't know why the Knicks fans are coming to the Wells Fargo Center, and it's not right. They took over our arena. They can't do that. But here's the thing, though, for all you Philly fans out there, you Eagles fans do it all the time. Every time I watch a football game on Fox, Like, and it's the Eagles game. Like, you Eagles fans travel. I remember watching the Raiders game, and you got this is when they were in Oakland, and Eagles fans travel. All I heard was EAGLES. Also, I heard the chant. That's all I heard. So, this is a taste of your own medicine, Sixers fans. I mean, I'm not hating on you guys. It's just that New York was bringing the heat, and they're going to bring the. I'm sure they're probably going to bring the heat in Indiana too. But I think Indiana is going. I think Indiana is going to be a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for here? They're going to be a little bit more. They're going to be a little bit more choosy with who they're going to let in there. They're going to let certain people in there. Spike Lee, he might get in there. Maybe a couple other New York fans might get in there. LJ, Spreewell, John Starks, people like that. Maybe Ewing, he might get in there. Who knows? Um, yeah, that does it for game one. Um, Also for game one, during that week, the Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics played. Cleveland Cavaliers, fresh off the win over Orlando, the up and coming Orlando Magic. Definitely got to watch out for them in the upcoming years. Paolo Bencaro, that's a bad man. Watch out for him. For the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell had 33 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Eric Mobley for the Cavs, 17 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. He's down there working. Darius Garland had a pedestrian 14 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. For Boston, Jalen Brown, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. Derek White, 25, 1 rebound, 5 assists. Jason Tatum, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. And Drew, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block. So, yeah, here we go. Breakdown of the game. First game, pretty much Boston came out, punched him in the mouth, let him know, like, yo, I may not be the top player in the game, but I'm definitely top three. This is what Jason Tatum is saying to the rest of the league right now. Really, to be honest with you, it's probably, man, I mean, if it comes down to the top three in the league, probably Jokic, Tatum, and number three could be whoever. Number three could be whoever, but I definitely know Jason Tatum is definitely top two. Um, Came through, punched him in the mouth. They ran their sets. Um, and it's the fact that Jalen, Jalen and Jason, when they get rolling. And also, Jason Tatum is also definitely an underrated defender too. He's definitely a good defender. He just doesn't get that type of credit for it, but he's definitely underrated on defense. Of course, Drew Holiday was out there causing chaos. Peyton Pritchard as well was out there causing chaos. Shout out to them. Moving on, game two. Game two, the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Pacers and the Knicks. The Knicks win by the skin of their teeth, 130 to 121. And for Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton had a better game, 34 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals. Obi Toppin, New York's own. Shout out to Dayton. 20 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Still wasn't enough. These the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, 29 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and uh, definitely doesn't get said enough about the game clock management that he has. OG Anunoby was out there balling, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. The big ragu, Dante DiFincenzo, as the Knicks fans call him, the real Italian stallion. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. And I'd be remiss as a notable Isaiah Hartenstein, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 block. Knicks lead the series 2-0. That's all really I can say. Let's see. I'm sitting here looking at the rebound breakdown. I mean, it's 12, 16, 20, 22. This is just like the main cast. 22 rebounds between all of them. So, and a couple of those were offensive rebounds too, especially with Isaiah Hartenstein. I think Isaiah Hartenstein had those 12 rebounds. I believe 6 were offensive. Also with that block, I mean, Hartenstein was all over the place, man, just covering for Mitchell Robinson. Um, get better soon, Mitch. They definitely need you. But right now, Knicks lead the series 2-0, and they're going to Indiana tonight. I believe they play in the evening around like 8:30, maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock, around that time. Uh, I see the Knicks winning because they're coming in with all the momentum. It's going to be a hostile environment, though, just like any type of New York versus Indy matchup, whether it's regular season, preseason, or postseason. Definitely, Indy is definitely going to be bringing the heat. They're going to be bringing everything. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks come out of here with a loss and they win the next one, and then they just they finish them off at the Garden in Game 5. Also, for the second game, the Eastern Conference semis between the Cavaliers and Boston. Cavaliers even the series out. 118-94. The series is tied up 1-1. Donovan Mitchell, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Eric Mobley, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. Karis LeVert, another 21 points. Shout out to the University of Michigan. 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Jason Tatum, 25 points, 7 rebounds, and a steal. Jaylen Brown had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Peyton Pritchard had 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. Basically, what that was, it was the emergence of Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell came alive. Instead of just dropping like 40 and losing, he actually had almost 30 and winning. So that means he was spreading the ball around. Shout out to Eric Mobley, who was doing his work on the boards with his 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. Yeah, this one's a toss-up. Now they're going to Cleveland. Cleveland pretty much has they do pretty good. They're usually above 500 with the home crowd this year. So yeah, I think if they can kind of recreate the same production with Donovan, Eric, and Karis, I think they might be able to steal one. They're definitely going to steal one at home. I think Boston's going in the next one, and then I believe this game. I think this might be one of the most. This might be a slept-on 7-game series, to be honest with you. Why I say that is just because because I've just seen so many things that's been happening in these playoff series so far. Nothing's a given. There's a lot of parity. There's no like clean cut favorite. Of course, everybody has their favorites. Of course, Denver and Boston and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, if the Knicks break free to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, man, oh man, man, oh man. Listen, Gotham's going to go crazy. I think, to be honest with you, if the Knicks make it to the finals, I think it's going to be another earthquake. To be totally honest with you, but yeah, that's pretty much my it's pretty much my breakdown. Just going to get back at you guys. Even though we got a chance to talk on Sunday and everything with Larry, I just wanted to just do a quick breakdown. Hopefully, I get a chance if I'm not too busy with Mother's Day and everything like that. Taking my lady out. Happy Mother's Day weekend to LaShawn Freeman and Linda Freeman, hopefully I went to see Disney, thinking about the lunch or whatever the case may be, or running around doing errands, getting presents, being a honeybee or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I don't hear from you guys on Sunday, happy Mother's Day. If you get a chance, listen to the Black Psychologist podcast. He says some really, really important things about some of the people out here. Even though most of us have our mothers for Mother's Day, they're still here with us. There's a whole bunch of us out here, such as myself, speaking from experience, that don't have their mother on Mother's Day. And definitely listen to the latest episode of the Black Psychologist podcast with Dr. J and Dr. Kyle. Have some different ways that that you can cope with not having your mother here for Mother's Day, because I know it's going to be kind of hard, especially on Sunday. It might not, just speaking as experience for me, it might not hit me right now, but maybe Sunday it might hit me different. And so far so good. It's been pretty good for me. So if everybody has their mother, happy Mother's Day. You see your mother, hug her, let her know how you feel and everything like that. Hopefully I get a chance to see you on Sunday, but if not, I will definitely give you updates and recaps during the week. And it's been great talking with you guys once again. Good seeing you guys, and have a great and blessed weekend. Be good, y'all.